Do you remember the Wild West days of the internet? Back when every website looked like a glittery mess of Comic Sans, and the only bots were those annoying pop-ups telling you that you were the millionth visitor? It felt messy, it felt loud, but above all, it felt human. We used to wait minutes for a single image to load, pixel by painful pixel, and yet we stayed, because we knew a real person was on the other side of that connection. But lately, have you noticed the air in the digital room has gone a bit thin? You scroll through a viral thread, and thousands of accounts are echoing the exact same phrase, almost in a rhythmic, mechanical chant. You see influencers with skin so poreless and eyes so symmetrical, they look like they were rendered in a high-end laboratory. You start to get this prickle on the back of your neck, that uncanny valley sensation that you're standing in a massive stadium where everyone is shouting, but nobody is actually breathing. I'm Willow, and today on the Clever Clover, we're diving into the dead internet theory. It's the unsettling idea that sometime around 2016, the human internet passed away. And we're now just wandering through a digital graveyard curated by artificial intelligence. Right, let's see if the lights are still on, shall we? Before we count down, what exactly is this theory? It started as a whisper in the dark corners of image boards like 4chan, suggesting that a cabal of governments and corporations killed the organic web to more easily manufacture consent and control public opinion. Now, while the government conspiracy part of it might sound like total codswallop to some, the underlying math is hard to ignore. We aren't necessarily saying the internet is a literal ghost town, but rather that the ratio has flipped. It's like a party where the host replaced half the guests with cardboard cutouts to make the room look full. You're still there, and I'm still here, but we've become the minority in our own digital home. We are the legacy users in a system that wasn't built for us anymore. Number 8. The 50% threshold. This isn't just a theory, it's a statistic. For years, cybersecurity firms like Imperva have released the Bad Bot Report, and the most recent findings are staggering. Nearly half of all internet traffic today isn't human, it's automated. Think about the scale of that for a moment. Every second, billions of packets of data are moving across the globe, and every second, half of those visitors don't have a pulse. They are scrapers stealing content, snipers buying up concert tickets before you can even click Add to Cart, and social bots designed to inflate numbers. When you feel like your voice is being drowned out in the comments, it isn't a metaphor. You are quite literally competing for oxygen with an army of silicon ghosts that never sleep, never eat, and never get tired of arguing with you. Number 7. Content autophagy. In biology, autophagy is the process of a cell eating its own damaged parts to survive. In the digital world, it's much more grotesque. We've entered the era of the slop, because AI models require massive amounts of data to learn, and because the internet is now being flooded with AI-generated junk, the machines have started learning from, each other. It's a closed loop of recycled digital mush. Have you noticed how a Google search now leads you to 5 different articles that all use the exact same phrasing to say nothing at all? This is what researchers call model collapse. When an AI eats an AI, the quality degrades until you're left with a digital slurry of misinformation. It's the death of original thought, and it's happening while we watch. Number 6. The influencer factories. We've all seen the virtual influencers, CGI characters with millions of followers and lucrative brand deals. They don't eat, they don't age, and they don't make mistakes. But the real tragedy isn't the fake people, it's what's happening to the real ones. To survive the algorithm, human creators are being forced to behave like bots. They have to use the same trigger words, follow the same 7-second pacing, and use the same trending audio clips, or risk being buried by the code. When a human is forced to mimic a machine just to be seen, is there really a functional difference anymore? We are all being squeezed into a mechanical mold, and mind yourself, because the line between simulated human and human simulation is getting awfully thin. Number 5. Engagement pods. This is the zombie part of the theory. There are massive click farms and AI-driven pods where thousands of accounts are programmed to like and comment on each other's posts the microsecond they go live. This creates what psychologists call false consensus. If you see a post with 100,000 likes, your brain's ancient tribal instinct whispers, "This must be important." But if 99,000 of those likes came from a server farm in a refrigerated room, it's not popularity, it's digital gaslighting. They aren't trying to convince you that the content is good. They are trying to convince you that everyone else thinks it's good, so you'll feel like the odd one out for disagreeing. It is a psychological siege on your common sense. Number 4, the graveyard shift. Some researchers suggest that the big platforms are essentially digital mausoleums. Take Facebook, for example. There are millions of accounts belonging to people who have passed away, and millions more that are sleeper bots, accounts created years ago that sit silent until an election cycle or a brand campaign wakes them up to flood the feed. When you post a photo of your dinner or a thought about your day and your only engagement comes from user 99374, you aren't social networking. You're shouting at a headstone in a cemetery that's being managed by a very overworked computer. Number 3, the death of customer service. This is the part of the dead internet theory you feel every time you have a problem with your bank or your internet provider. Remember when you could pick up a phone and speak to a person? Now you are trapped in a labyrinth of AI-powered chatbots and help centers written by algorithms for algorithms. Corporations have realized that human empathy is an expensive overhead they'd rather delete. So they've replaced the social part of their business with a mirror. You are a human talking to a bot that is searching a database written by a bot. It's efficient for their bottom line, but it's the final nail in the coffin for the human web. Number 2, state-sponsored simulation. This is the dark heart of the theory. It's called computational propaganda, and it's a tool used by governments worldwide to simulate public outrage or support. By flooding the zone with fake opinions, they can make a radical minority view look like a global mandate. It's a psychological operation designed to make you feel isolated and wrong for having independent thoughts. If you feel like the internet has become a toxic, polarized mess where you can't even have a civil conversation, that's not an accident. The bots aren't there to win the argument. They are there to make sure you're too exhausted to even try having one. They want to break the human spirit of discussion. And finally, number 1, how to find the living internet. The theory says the internet is dead, but I think it's just moved. The dead internet is the surface web, the big platforms, the viral feeds, and the SEO-optimized junk. But the living internet is still out there, thriving in the shadows. It's in niche Discord servers, tiny newsletters, personal blogs, and old web revivals like Neocities. It's where people go when they are tired of being handled by an algorithm. The way to beat the dead internet isn't to leave. It's to be inconveniently human. Write something messy. Post a blurry photo that hasn't been filtered. Leave a comment that actually requires a brain to process. The more we behave like humans, the harder it is for the bots to simulate us. We have to be the glitch in their perfect empty system. So, what do you think? Are you a real person watching this, or is the algorithm just playing this video to keep a screen active somewhere in an empty room? If you're real, and I truly hope you are, do me a favor and prove it. Hit the like button and leave a comment. Even if it's just to say hello or tell me about your favorite memory of the internet before it got so quiet. It helps the clever Clover grow, and more importantly, it sends a signal to the system that there are still some humans left in the room who care about the truth. Don't forget to subscribe for more deep dives into our invisible world. I've got a whole series on why your brain is broken. You can find that playlist right here. Until next time, stay curious and stay real. Mind yourself.